Bird feeding brings birds closer to us so that we can enjoy their presence and help them survive in an urban environment. In harsher climates, feeding birds in the winter or providing water in the summer can positively impact their survival rate. Habitat loss, pesticides, climate change, window strikes, and house cats are among some of the main causes of bird decline. In this video, I'm going to discuss a great way to help birds from the comfort of your home. Learning what the birds in your area eat is the best way to avoid wasted seed. Getting seed that is hulled or chopped ensures the seed won't sprout. Many birdseed mixes have fillers that bring the price of birdseed down. Some birds don't eat the fillers at all, and it usually ends up on the ground. A common filler is milo or sorghum. Very few birds eat it, but if you want to feed western ground-feeding birds like doves, wild turkeys, quails, or pheasants, you may want to choose it. Make sure to avoid mixes with wheat, oats, or other grains. Black oil sunflower is the favorite birdseed of songbirds because it mimics the seeds of many native trees. Black oil sunflower seeds have very thin shells that even the smallest birds can crack open. The sunflower hearts or chips have a high fat content and can be purchased separately if the shells are too messy. Safflower has a thick shell ideal for birds with larger beaks. Cardinals, house finches, doves, and native sparrows enjoy it. Safflower has a bitter flavor that discourages some mammals from eating it. White proso millet attracts ground-feeding birds such as native sparrows, doves, towhees, juncos, and cardinals. Some insect-eating birds, such as wrens, will eat live or dead mealworms. Fresh or dried fruit can also be set in a tray for birds to try. In some regions, feeder birds will prefer seeds over fruit. Raisins, berries, apples, and melons are great options. Suet attracts woodpeckers and insect eaters, such as wrens and warblers. Suet is made from rendered beef fat, cornmeal, peanuts, and birdseed. It is always a good idea to read the ingredients when choosing a suet or birdseed. A suet with high protein content is ideal and will have more peanuts and sunflower. Suet with fruit is a great option as well. Peanuts are very popular with blue jays, crows, chickadees, titmice, and woodpeckers. Larger birds may prefer them in the shell, while small birds may want peanut pieces. Always use unsalted peanuts, and roasted is also ideal. Cracked corn is best in small amounts, less than 15% of the total blend. Niger, also called thistle, can attract finch species. However, American goldfinches, pine siskins, and house finches will still come to the feeder if there are sunflower chips. Bird feeders range in prices and can be a fun DIY project as well. It can be as simple as spreading seed on the ground, and you don't need anything fancy. Look for feeders that have drainage to prevent excessive moisture and mold. You also want a feeder where seed won't get stuck in hard-to-reach places, since this can cause bacteria to grow. It is important to have trees and bushes close by the feeder since that will make the birds feel safer than being out in the open. We have to take responsibility when feeding birds. Like an all-you-can-eat buffet, bird feeders need to be kept clean to avoid the transmission of diseases. Some examples are the house finch eye disease, Mycoplasmal conjunctivitis, Salmonella, and trichomoniasis, a respiratory disease. 10% non-chlorinated bleach solution or soapy water is the best way to clean feeders about every 2 weeks or so. If you see a bird that may be sick, take down your feeders so that the birds disperse. Birdseed is perishable and doesn't last long in hot temperatures. Filling your bird feeders based on how much traffic you get at your home can avoid waste. You can also freeze birdseed if it is going bad while in storage. Another way to achieve a wildlife-friendly yard is putting out fresh water. Not all birds eat seed, but they all need water, especially in areas without much of it. There are lots of resources for gardening for birds, which involves growing native plant species in your yard. Native trees with nuts or bushes with berries can provide food for wildlife. Birdwatching and feeding allows us to feel close to nature and reminds us how important a healthy ecosystem is. Bird conservation affects plants and wildlife too. Always do your research, read books, and keep updated on the newest science. Offering the right food, cleaning your feeders, Keeping your cats indoors and putting feeders a safe distance from windows is the best way to feed birds.